Good morning, friends. You're at that 1870s Homestead, and it is such a cold and wet morning out this morning. But we can make it warm and cozy. It's Christmas time, and I'm still busy cooking away each and every day a new recipe. And today would probably be number 2 on the list, which is the candy oat bars, or what some people refer to as magic bars. And I can't wait to share the recipe with you. I know we shared a screenshot of it, so I hope that you had time to pause that and jot it down, but I'll do my best to share the recipe as I go. We have a party we're getting ready for this evening, and I need just at least one more cookie to add to the plate, so that's what we're doing today. So this year, I'm making it gluten-free. I normally don't do that, but to just make it a little easier on our tummies, as well as for my daughter-in-law who needs gluten-free options, this will be perfect. So I went in with 2 cups of gluten-free sprouted oats and 1.5 cups of flour. And what we're making, and there's a little pinch of salt, we're making basically a crumble. So you need about a cup of brown sugar and a cup of chopped pecans, and that's going to finish off our crumble with some melted butter. So, I was showing you guys in a recent video my antique nut chopper. I think I finally busted the spring on that, so I had to get out my old standard. And I do like adding coconut to my recipe, and I don't have that written down, but I always remember I just like adding coconut to it. So you can omit that if you don't want that. And then you're going to need a cup of butter melted. Once that's melted, you mix everything together and reserve yourself like 1.5 cups of that crumb mixture to add on top. Now the rest of that we're going to press down in our pan. And it makes about a 15 by 10 inch pan. So you don't have to use a deep pan like I'm using, it's just what I had available. And you're going to press that firmly down in your pan and bake that crust for 10 minutes at 375. While that's baking, we can go ahead and get started on getting the toppings prepared. So to that crumb topping that you saved, you're going to want to add a cup of M&Ms. I prefer to use Christmas-colored M&Ms if I can have time or the availability to go grab them. But I already had a big bag of M&Ms in the pantry, so I'm just going to use those up. Mix those in with your crumb topping. And then with another 1/2 cup of M&Ms, we're going to melt those just slightly, enough where you can crush them a bit with the back of a spoon. To the melted M&Ms, we're going to be adding 1 cup of sweetened condensed milk. And you'll see how that comes together here shortly. Now, while I have your attention looking at all this decadent goodness, I want to encourage you guys to come back tomorrow for tomorrow's video, because I'm going to share with you one of the first platters that I'm putting together. And while I only have a few recipes ready, it's enough to make a really pretty presentation. And so I'll share that with you guys on tomorrow's video and hopefully inspire you well ahead of time on how you can give some wonderful homemade treats or take those to different functions and events that you have coming up. Now, during this time, I did lower the temperature of my oven to 350 degrees, and this is going back in the oven for 18 to 20 minutes. I will tell you, you'll see at the end I'm adding Christmas sprinkles to it because I do want that pop of Christmas feel. And in hindsight, and I think of this every single year and I never remember to do it, it probably would have been best to, say, the last 10 minutes, sprinkle that on while it's baking, so it really has time to set into that topping, because what I ended up having to do was go back through my hand and press them in so that they held well. So just a tip for you guys there. Now, don't try this while it's warm. Let it cool completely before you lift it out of the pan, because it's going to want to fold and break in on itself, and it really needs to set. And then cut it to the bar sizes that you want. I think I typically stick to like a 2-inch square, somewhere around that. And it ends up being a really good size serving, because this is super, super rich. And 1 bar is really all you need at any given setting. So hopefully you guys enjoy this recipe. And if you make it or a version like it, leave your comments down below. What would you add? What would you omit? Thanks, guys.